So finances is kind of a mess. When it comes to these assistants, like what's going on here? Are they assistants or are they just friends that you're like, come with me? Are they even friends at all? Are these people you found on Facebook? Like, let's talk about your most recent, like who's with us today. How did you find him?
So Elton's, my assistant, been with me for 4 years.
Okay.
And it started out like I needed help. If you would have met me maybe 4 years ago, I was not okay emotionally,
Like,
mentally.
overly worked.
It was overly worked because I was like, I need to post. I got these videos, and I had no social life, and it was just like laser focused on YouTube and posting content and drama, and it sucks because like I wasn't okay, you know, because I was like so enthralled in the views and clicks
Yeah,
and
and you
numbers.
couldn't stop. Like, you can't just stop yourself.
Because
you need
it's there. It's like, because you don't know when it's going to just turn off. Like, YouTube could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I was really trying to capitalize on the momentum of the algorithm. Okay?
Yeah.
And I just wasn't okay. And someone said, you need an assistant, you need help. And I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I think I can do it. No, but I needed one. And then when I hired him on, it was so difficult for me to delegate things to people and tell them what to do because I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, like, I had someone, like, take care of the cats or take them to the vet.
Just
or
like
schedule
normal, like
appointments,
helpful.
do the laundry or fold or order me an Uber, or like, because it was just so much. And it got to the point where I couldn't even speak. I would like my words were all jumbled up. That's how bad it was.
Okay.
And it slowly.
And I know
got to
exactly
the
what
point.
you mean. And
You do?
this
Because not many
past
people
July-
do. Like, I'm
well,
so shook.
I know because I was working for the government and I was doing YouTube and I was editing myself. So I was working 9 to 5 and then 5 to 1 every single day to get a video out the next day because I like to post like 5 times a week. We both love to
Wow,
post.
yeah.
And so I was doing both, and I was actually going to go into a mental health facility, like one that was local, and I was going to check in. But my lawyer friend, who's like a huge fan of your channel, that's the reason why I really started watching Rich. Like, I literally watch Rich every single day because I just like, I need to have something playing in the background, and it's also just like comforting content. But she like came down and she was like, helped me like just get the courage to leave my government job and to finally
make the jump.
embrace the social media. So, but before Elton, you've had another assistant, correct?
Yes.
You've had a few?
Yeah, well, they come and go. Like, I tell them, this is not a job that's going to, like, last you for...
Yeah.
You're not going to get rich.
You're not getting your
for me.
401k bill up
You're not going to
there.
get rich working for me. Like, take what you learned from me as a stepping stone and apply it to your own life and then move on, you know? And some people, they just have stayed longer than others, and some people, they stay for
Who's been a
season.
previous assistant? Like, who, like, a name? Like,
Well, the thing is, like, most of them, they prefer not to be on camera or, like,
okay.
be talked about.
So Luscious wasn't one, right? No?
No,
Okay.
no. The Luscious thing was like a dear friend of mine
Yeah.
that I hold. Like, that friendship was so dear to me, but you know, relationships change and they fall
Yeah, and that
apart and they
happens. I
grow.
totally get that.
And I wish them the best and much success, but like it's sad, and I really do think it was just a misunderstanding. But
So
yeah.
There's someone who said that you called your assistant the N-word slur. I've seen that on the internet. What's happened? Was it an assistant that came out and started saying some crap?
No,
Is it made
it wasn't
up?
like that,
Is it something you
no.
did that you're like, I can't believe I did this? Like,
no, it was like what was it? So
I can see the shift in your face when I'm
no,
like,
because I'm really trying to think because I don't want to get it wrong. So I had an assistant building an arcade, and then I was in the background making a drama video.
Okay.
And so when they're live building an arcade, the fans that were watching him, they were like, "Oh, we hear Rich in the background," and they thought they heard something I said that I didn't, and I addressed it in the video saying that's not what I said. And I even like recreated the moment, and they were like, "Oh, that's BS. No, you didn't." So I'm like, "Whatever."
So did they have audio of you saying? Is that why they believe it?
Yeah, it was
Like, there's an audio
but
out there?
Not my face is not in it though.
Yeah, it's just like someone
off
like
in the
working live
background.
stream and you like supposedly said it, but
In the
you feel like
background,
it's
yeah.
maybe just like a speech, like it could have just sounded like it.
It did sound like it, but I'm like,
Did the
"Girl,
person who
no."
was in the stream react to you saying that?
No.
So it's
they
like
were just building an arcade.
they would have been like, if they heard you over here, like,
But I think because I'm a drama channel, and I do drama. When I'm in drama, it's like magnified times 10.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't believe that you did this. And
Yeah.
you talk about these people, so you should be able to dish it and serve it. Mm-hmm. Serve it and dish it.
and personally, like I said, I don't think that you are racist, but I can't say the same for Jeffree Star. Do you think Jeffree Star is racist?
I don't think he's racist.
You don't?
I'm really like, I feel like he has like a really traumatizing past. Mm-hmm. And because I mean, there's videos of him doing and saying things. And
Well,
I'm
we've
just like,
seen
whoa.
that, yeah.
And being even associated with him, it drags me down even further.
Oh,
right.
that was going to be a next question. Like, why be associated with someone who's known to be
Yeah.
possibly racist, and then you've got your own spiel. So it's like,
yeah, it's really-
it's like
yeah.
kind of doing yourself dirty. So I want to talk a little bit about your relationship with Jeffree Star, because I think people are fascinated by this, because you talk about him, but you're
I have
also
a lot to say
and
about
then also
that, yeah.
there's like, there's YouTube spheres, and it seems like, Jeffree's in that like David Dobrik sphere and then we're on our own. It's kind of like hard to jump to that next level. So can you just talk a little bit about like what's your relationship with Jeffree Star nowadays?
So
like, are you
well?
civil?
I think it's important to start how it started.
Okay.
So like, just imagine being a drama channel and you're
Uh-huh.
pumping out daily content, and out of all the YouTubers I was talking about, out of all the YouTubers that existed, way like in the millions, Jeffree was the only one to reach out and say, "Hey, come meet me." It was.
Did you make videos about him at this
Yeah.
point when you reached
Yeah.
out? Were they like hateful or in favor or just
No, I would say there were commentary and in favor.
Okay.
It was like, I like this palette.
Neutral and
I
in
can't
favor.
believe-" It was
Okay.
in trolling too. It was always like, for some reason the algorithm favored him. He just got a lot of views.
yeah?
A lot of
He's
views.
been getting views since I've watched him since the MySpace days,
It's
so he's been
insane.
getting views forever.
It's almost like, how does he do it?
Well, now
You
he's
know?
not. Have you seen his videos flopping lately? I know.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, so he reached out to
He
you.
reached out
and,
to you and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Houston," and there's like a tweet of him saying, "Oh, I'm gonna meet Rich Lux," and I went to his hotel that day and we hung out and we talked. And when you meet these people, you tend to humanize them, right? And he was like, the first thing he said is like, "Rich, I'm not a racist. My manager was black," and da-da-da-da. And I was just like, "Whoa!" And we talked about it. I humanized them, and in some way, I felt like, because I'm so like ostentatious and like Louis Vuitton and stuff like that, and he
Yeah.
does too. We kind of connected there,
Yeah.
with that whole coming from humble beginnings, and then all of a sudden you have a little bit of wealth, you just kind of splurge and buy. So I kind of felt that
that bond. Yeah,
that
you had something to
of,
bond
like,
over.
It's stuff like that. It's so like materialistic stuff, but
But
I
when
like
we were
it.
we were at a brand party recently for the creme, right?
Creme
The
shop.
creme shop, yeah. And when we went to this party, I asked you a little bit about Jeffree, and you told me that you haven't been able to like break that mold with him to where it feels like, because when I was with you, it felt like it's two real people talking, and there's not like this facade and stuff. Do you feel like you've ever even gotten to that point
Yeah.
where Jeffree, where you can
yeah,
see?
there was been. It's almost like, I'm talking
Like you
about
could
this.
tell when it's on, you can tell when it's off. Have you seen like when it's off and you're like, okay, this person's maybe not that confident, not that
I wouldn't say that, because
Okay.
he comes across like a stone cold, like,
all the time?
CEO, like
Yeah.
millionaire stare. It's almost like intimidating. But there are times when we've hung out and it just turned off. There's a video on my channel where I'm in his closet,
Yeah.
and I'm filming his closet, and he's talking about it. When the camera shut off, like, we had a real moment.
Yeah.
Like, he was saying, "I'm gonna move to Wyoming,
Yeah.
and I want to have yaks," and I was like, "What?" This
So
is-
he was planning that, yeah.
I was just like, "No, you're not." Like, in my head, I'm thinking like, no. He was like, "Oh, look at the brush set I did with this. I think it was a Morphe collab," and he was talking about that, and I was like, "This is a genuine, real moment," and it was like a glimpse, and then it just went, like, it went away, and he was like,
Oh, and then back.
me show you- let me show you my new
interesting.
Birkin.
Interesting. It's
I was
very
like,
much. Then he puts it back on. And that's like sometimes some people's coping mechanisms or their guard.
I think he's like that because he's worth so much money, people want to take advantage of him, and
Yeah.
then whatever trauma he has, he just feels like, if I can just have a wall up, people can't get to me. But I saw the glimpses of like the real human person, and
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this gives me hope that you're a good person.
So when you're around
seen
him,
that.
does he pay for everything?
No.
No, you
No.
bought some things.
I paid for dinner one time for him and his crew.
Ooh.
But he pretty much does pay for everything,
Yeah.
unless you just intervene and stop it. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind that you
But
would.
when I'm in Houston, like, I'm like the highest in the room there.
Yeah.
Like when
Like you're in your place, you're in your safe space.
yeah, so
you're
I always
like,
just tend to pay for everything. And when he comes to town, he probably does that too. But I was like, no, like, let me handle the bill this time.
Yeah, that's
But
sweet.
yeah, but no, I think most of the time he does pay for everything. And I think that he has like people kind of ride that coattail.
Yeah.
Which is why he's such a cunning person when he cuts people off or slits their throat or whatever the case may be.
What was Rich Lux like in high school?
Fat, overweight.
What do you mean like fat? Like 200
over-
pounds, 300
Like
pounds?
pushing like almost 300.
300. How tall are you?
5'9".
Oh, you look great now.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You look this cheap. Let me
Oh
tell
yeah.
you that.
Oh no. So
No.
so in high school you were overweight. Did that feed into your like confidence and stuff?
Oh
Or
yeah.
Were you still
I
a
had
confident
like
person?
big old
or-
man boobs, bro.
Yeah.
I had like a belly that hung over. I didn't know if I was straight or gay. I was struggling with that. Like, I wasn't like as flamboyant as I am today. Like, I was like like cholo masculine.
Oh, yeah.
With the bandana sagging dickies.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
yeah, yeah.
So did people know that you were gay in high school? Like, could they
They would
tell
ask.
through
They would
it?
be like, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "No, you're gay."
No, yeah.
It was like toxic masculinity back then.
Did you ever get like bullied or anything, or were you pretty?
Yeah, because some of the guys, they just like, "Oh, I know you're gay."
Yeah,
Are you
you see
gay?
through it.
No. Did your mama know you're gay? It was like that stuff growing
Yeah.
up.